I'm Tom Jennings, and I'm a woodcarver, traditional woodcarver. I use hand tools, and trying to be an artist, and using wood as the material. So this piece is called Reproduction. It was, it's like, it's play, basically. It's just playing. But it's interesting too, because although you play spontaneously, it's like something comes in first and makes an impression on you. And so I did see an artist's work, an artist called Leroy Setzol from America. And he had this style which really spoke to me. So he has similar types of wood, kind of tropical hardwoods, and he grids them, and then he just freestyles in the grids. He just improvises, and he just plays. And there was something intuitive about his process, and there was something intuitive about him, and I felt when I saw his work, like, finally, that's me in terms of wood carving. I've been following traditional wood carving the whole time, and more or less, and I always thought it was cool, but like not fully me. And when I saw his work, I thought, that's me in some way. I don't know how exactly, but I completely connect with it. And then I was basically just waiting for an opportunity to get to do it. And this was the first go I had at doing what I consider to be his style. However, it's like his style gets input into me, and then that mixes with everything that's already in me and in my imagination, and then I find a piece of wood that seems suitable. And this is good because it feels like a story because of its broadness. And then I start to express it. So I've got his style, and I've got me and my imagination, and I've got my ability with the tools, and I just try and form all those things, and that just lets it out. And so the main thing is to return to the spirit of play and just start carving like stuff on the piece of wood, and like, oh yeah, and as soon as you do it, it's like you either like it or don't like it. And if you like it, you respond to it. Something about some shape somewhere makes you think, oh, what would I put around that? Oh, something like this. Oh, then maybe I'll do, that's quite straight, so then I'll do something curved, and just play. It's just brainless, really. There's nothing clever about it at all. It's just having that, allowing the impulse to play and not be too judgmental about what you're doing. And then what's interesting and what's fascinating and what, if it's successful, what happens is that when you do your fun and your play and just whatever, you zoom out and it's like, oh, whoa, I was doing things and I didn't know I was doing stuff. I was making symbols and signs and creating a story and actually inadvertently forming a themed piece of work as well, because when I zoomed out, I saw what it was about, and that told me there's a part of an unconscious part of the mind that's very alive, whilst the conscious part of my mind is just like, oh, just cut the wood in that way, or I need to cut it this way, and then, but something else is putting something out there, and that's really interesting because you don't know what you're doing, and that's the magic. You don't know what you're doing, but you've hopefully done something successful. So there's one little exception there, because I saw, but around the point I was at the end, I started to pick out these things that seemed thematically connected. So I kind of see, to be frank, this reproduction theme. There's a sort of sexual theme in there. These are like ovaries or like testicles, and the sperm. This is quite phallic, and so I balanced that with something that's more feminine, and to make that completeness, that wholeness. There's this horseshoe. This is maybe like the luck of it, whether it happens or not, reproduction. And other subtle things, some of them are more meaningful and some of them are just playful shapes that I like the feeling of. and just to decorate the more symbolic part. And then so other things came up too, you know, I started showing it to other people, and they saw, one of my students said, this looks like a mother tending to its baby. And I quite recently had children, and so it's just natural that that's coming out of me. That's obviously it's in my heart, or it's a big part of my imagination, so it just comes into the work. Is this a pillow? A bath for a baby? Don't know.